Okay guys, I'm back. Hopefully this internet connection is a little bit better. So if you are watching this video and you didn't see part 1, I want to encourage you to just go back in the group and watch part 1. All right. So I'm talking about how to prepare for these 21 days. So first things is that you need to ask God, what foods do you need to eliminate over the course of these 21 days? This is all about removing the triggers from our lives so that we can be sensitive and that we can hear from God. So whether it is one thing, maybe God is saying like, hey, I want you to, not drink caffeine, or I want you to abstain from soda. It's not about having 100 things. It's just about hearing from God. Okay. What is God saying to you? Right. And we're going to make that commitment that over the course of this 21 days, I'm going to give it up for God. So don't feel condemned. Don't feel stressed. Do not feel overwhelmed to have like a whole list of things. Here's what we're going to do. And here's my commitment to you. We're here for the long haul. Okay, this is a journey. It's a journey, faith to faith, glory to glory, step by step by step. So don't feel compelled to list out 100 things. All right. So maybe God just says like, hey, for these 21 days, I want you to just give up, watching TV after 8 o'clock at night, because that's when you tend to snack, whatever it is. Okay. We're going to put that on the altar. So that's the first thing. I need you to email me the list. Okay. And in the email, you've received my email. All right. Or you can message me if for some reason you don't have my email, but for accountability, I'm making a list, right, of those that contact me so I can be in prayer. The second thing that I want you to do is I want you to start clearing out your household of whatever it is that God has told you, for these 21 days that you're not going to engage in. So if it's flour, if it's sugar, remove it. So either remove it out of eyesight, put it in another pantry, because obviously maybe other people in your family enjoy these types of things. But I want you to do is just remove it out of your eyesight. Maybe some of you need to go grocery shopping this weekend. Maybe some of you need to meal prep. So I'm going to be doing some meal prep today. I'm going to the grocery store so I can be set up for success for our 21-day challenge. The final thing that I want you to do is I want you to tell a friend, tell your spouse, tell a good friend and say, hey, you know what? For these next 21 days, it's like I'm going on a fast. I feel like God is calling me to give up X, Y, and Z. I want to be accountable to you. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be going through these 21 days. And I'm going to ask that you pray for me and, just help me. Because here's the thing, whenever we're giving up something from God, there's going to be a lot of temptation. Whenever we are giving up something for God, the enemy is going to try to bring in a lot of temptation. And I want to encourage you, this is not something that you have to fight alone. All right. You got the support group. We're here to all support you, but maybe there are other people in your household that desires to support you as well. There have been times where I have tried to fight battles, especially with food addiction and overeating by myself, just shame, pride, didn't want to bring my husband in. But my husband is a covering. He's a prayer warrior. And, he might crack jokes every now and again. But I know that he knows that, when I hear something from God and when I'm really serious about something, he walks alongside with me to fight that battle. And so, if you have people that will cover you in prayer, that will support you, it's also a great way of accountability too. So reach out and do that. So last but not least, y'all, so those are 3 things that I want you to focus on this weekend. 1, pressing into God. God, what is it that you want me to give up over these course of these 21 days? The second thing, what I want you to do is start removing those items out of your household, or at least out of your sight of vision, right? The third thing, I want you to start preparing for success, right? Meal prepping, incorporating healthy foods into your home. Also, make sure, if you haven't already, when you look at the packet of information, there is a calendar. So every Thursday, we'll have our weekly Bible study right here. in the Facebook group on Wednesdays. We will have an in-person exercise class for those that are local at Faith Church, Earth City campus. So all of that information is in the packet. Then Friday mornings, we will have a time of prayer where we'll pray. So all of the information, the login info, and I will also post reminders in our group. So our group has been pretty quiet, but once the challenge picks up, I'm going to be posting more, and I encourage you to post as well, right? This is our group, and so we want to have activity. So, feel free to introduce yourselves. Feel free to state, in the chat, like, hey, this is what I feel like God is calling me to give up. So I'll also be putting some prompts to just get people to start chatting and communicating. But this is a group for us to be encouraged. All right. So I want to let you know that I am praying for you. To this point right now, there are 100 people that have officially registered. So you are not alone. There are at least 99 others that are in the same boat. So many of you have said, I am so excited. I am so ready for this 21-day challenge. And I am just declaring freedom over your life, deliverance over your life. The enemy has tried to tell me for years and years and years, you'll never get free. That you'll always be a slave in bondage to this type of food or that type of food. But I want to let you know that the enemy is a liar. So when Jesus died on the cross for our sins, he died and he rose for diseases, for sicknesses, for healings, for addiction, overeating, compulsive overeating, gluttony, sugar addiction, whatever. Jesus died and rose off the cross for all of that. Right. And so what we need to do is just be obedient. I'm going to share this and then I'll end this session. OK, but one of the things that I really struggled with for many years is that my story with compulsive overeating is that there have always been triggers that lead to the compulsive overeating. So I don't compulsively overeat carrots. I don't compulsively overeat celery, but when I slow down, I realize that there are certain foods that serve as a trigger, which allow me to compulsively overeat. And research has shown that when you eat foods that contain a lot of sugar, fat, salt, and flour, that those release dopamine in the brain, where the brain is like, it's our pleasure center, and our brain is like, oh, I want more. And for a long time, I struggled with where I have felt the Holy Spirit say that if you want freedom, this is the path to freedom, to abstain from these types of food. But for so many years, y'all, I have struggled because I was like, God, I've been praying for freedom, but I don't like that path to freedom. I don't want freedom that way. God, I just want you to take the desire away from me. Or God, I just don't want to feel like I have to eat these types of things. God, can't you just take it away? And God can. There are some people that, God with the touch, can take an addiction or a desire away. My husband's testimony is that when he got clean from heroin, he got clean from heroin. He just didn't desire it anymore. But I believe that for me, God hasn't just taken away the desire for sugar, salt, fat, or flour. That God has been very clear that this is the way, at least in this season, this is the way to freedom. And the way to freedom is by you to deny or abstain from these foods. That when you abstain from these foods, the compulsion, the addiction, the desire, it decreases. And so it really is an act of surrender on my part. And you guys, I have struggled. It has been years where I have been like, okay, God, I'm going to submit. And then, I feel sober because I haven't eaten the sugar or the flour. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm good. Some time passes, and then next thing you know, I'm eating, and then I'm back really spiraling in an addiction. And so I was telling somebody, they were kind of like insinuating like, oh, Casey, you got it all together. You are this fitness queen. Look, let me tell y'all, I'm on this journey just like you are every day, I have to surrender to God every day. I have to say, God, give me strength. You know, the enemy comes in just like he comes into you with doubt, confusion. Oh, it don't take all this. You just being really extra. But here's one thing, is that I have spent time with God, and God has been very clear. And I have to make the decision. I have to be honest with myself and say, am I going to surrender? Am I going to be obedient to what God is saying, even though I may not necessarily like the path, even though I may see other people like, well, God, they don't struggle with this. They can eat this. They can eat that, you know. But this is the path that I feel like God has, you know, set out for me. And so I have to ask myself, am I going to be honest, and am I going to be obedient? You know, I'm not God. And, you know, I have prayed for freedom and deliverance, and I have prayed to live a healthy lifestyle, and God is showing me that this is the path for me to take. So I share my story with you, that when you're praying to God, when he says that this is the way to deliverance, that I want you to abstain from this, that this is the way to eating healthy, or this is the way to exercise and taking care of your body, I need you to join the gym membership. You know, God can be really practical with us. My prayer for you, as my prayer is for me, that we're going to surrender. And you know, when you look at like 12 steps, like my husband, he does a lot of addiction. I'm going to have him do a live. I'm going to have him come on as one of our KOK special guests. So our KOKs are sporadic Facebook Live pop-ups, and I'll put it in the post saying, you know what, tonight we're gonna have a KOK, and it's just to keep out the kitchen where we're just chatting, right? The idea is just to keep out of the kitchen. It'll be after 7 p.m. when maybe you're like kind of like doing nothing and you want to snack. But I'm going to have different guests come in and share. But I'm going to have my husband share, because he talks about, you know, the 12 steps. And really, for some of you all, it really is a food addiction. For some of us, you know, there has been an addictive behavior when it comes to certain foods. But my husband shares about the 12 steps. And one of the first steps is surrendering. And for so long, maybe many of you all have been like me, where we're like, I don't really have to surrender just yet. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this weight loss. I'm going to try this pill. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. And so this 21 days is really an opportunity for us to slow down and to say, you know what, God, what I have tried, it's not working. It hasn't been working. So God, I'm going to try you. So God, I'm going to ask you, what is it? What behaviors do I need to put on the altar when it comes to food? What certain foods do I need to put on the altar? Because God, I want you to be the priority of my life. And let me tell you this, I have a lot to say apparently, but I'm going to share this and then I'm going to be quiet. But let me tell you this, the Bible says that when we seek after God first and his righteousness, all things will be added. So God has been very clear with me, like, Casey, the weight loss will come. Like, you know, the weight loss will come. But for these first 21 days, this is just all about making God the priority, to hear from him and to obey, and then watch what God does in your life. Anytime God asks us to give up something for him, it's because he has something greater for us. Anytime we make a sacrifice or we put something on the altar, God, my flesh enjoys this, but I love you more. I love you more than the sugar. I love you more than the McDonald's. God, I love you more than sleeping in and not moving or exercising my body. God, I love you more. Anytime we make that stance, God has blessings in store for us and for our children and children's children, okay? So your decision to be part of this 21 days, it's not just about you, but it's about your lineage. It's about the legacy, okay? It's not just about you. So I pray blessings upon you guys. Thank you guys so much for being part of this 21-day challenge. I have been praying for you guys. I am just so excited with what God is going to do over these next 21 days. So make sure you get prepared. If you haven't purchased the book, Loving God More Than Food, you can do that. If you can't purchase the book right now, don't worry about it. You'll be okay. Okay. So if anybody has any questions, you can just inbox me. And I see Grace is here. Grace is our fitness instructor. Yay, Grace. Grace, feel free to post in this group. Y'all, Grace is so kind. She's the one that leads our Wednesday classes, okay? And she is just phenomenal. Oh my gosh, she just radiates Jesus joy. So she leads a group on Wednesdays that we'll be joining, but she also does some things on Sundays, and she does some things. She's having a group do the steps at Creve Coeur Park. I'm not going to be able to go tonight because I have to go to an event. But Grace, feel free to post the information. And if you guys feel that you're going to go, that you want to go, just tag her and let her know so she can be looking out for you, okay? But Grace, feel free to share. And Grace is going to be our special guest on Monday when we launch, when we officially start. You're going to get a chance to hear her story as well, okay? So, all right, y'all, be blessed.